Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all okay. So this week I was actually going to film another studio vlog, but it's now Wednesday and that's kind of around the time that I normally film, and this week has literally just been loads of boring like admin, SEO, catching up on like emails and stuff like that. So I don't actually have anything this week that exciting to film. It would literally just be me on my laptop typing. So that's not very fun to film. So instead, I thought I would film a Q&A for you guys. So I asked you over on Instagram this morning. I need to sneeze. Bless me. I asked you over on Instagram this morning for any questions that you might have, and I've said it can be business related, lifestyle, literally anything you might have, please throw at me. So I've written the questions down on my iPad. The very first question that I got was, what is your favourite bit about running your shop? Favourite bit about running my shop? I actually think the favourite bit of running my shop is the design part of it. I absolutely love illustrating and just designing, whether that's literally just a quote for Instagram or whether it's a new product that I'm making. That is like the funnest part, I think, of doing what I do and creating products. I just love illustrating and coming up with new ideas and just drawing in general, even if I don't do anything with the drawings and I just draw or doodle something and then I'm like, that's cool, but I won't do anything with it. I just love getting all my ideas out on my iPad and chilling. It's just a nice job to do in front of the TV or watching something on Netflix or a YouTube video and just drawing. And those are the moments where I can sit there and be like, I'm so grateful that I get to do this for my job. Like, I can just sit and draw. Obviously there's a lot of other hard bits to it too, but just that part I just love doing. It's so relaxing, and yeah, I love that part, and I'm very grateful that I can do that for my job. I would love to know about your experience getting a house whilst you are self-employed. So me and Dan were looking to move out for a while. We were looking here and there, maybe like 2018, 2019, but we were never seriously actually going to do it. I feel like Dan was ready and I wasn't quite ready. I needed another year to, like, I don't know, live at home, I guess. So we'd looked at a few places and just kind of familiarised ourselves with how it all works, but we hadn't actually done it properly. And then during lockdown, Dan had found some new build flats that were going up and about to go up for sale, and he basically booked in a viewing and was like, oh, we're going to see these, like, come along, we'll have a look at it. So I was like, okay, yeah. I wanted to move out, but I just didn't think it was going to be happening yet. So we went and had a casual look, and I absolutely loved the place, and I was like, no, I really want it here. Like, I'd looked at a few others and I'd been like, yeah, these are nice, but, and then there'd always been something that had put me off. But I walked into these ones and I just absolutely loved it. And we actually spoke to the guy that was there, you know, doing the viewings, and he said, you have to let us know by tonight if you want them, and then we will let you know if you've been accepted the next day. And there were quite a few people looking around at the same time as us, and we were like, oh my god, we have to decide, like, now? Like, I just thought, I don't know, I was going to go and have a look, didn't really think anything of it, but then once I liked it, I thought, oh, okay, I can, like, bring my mum and dad back and have a little gander around, see, like, you know, how everyone's feeling. But no, we had to let them know that night. So it was a very quick process in terms of, you know, actually choosing somewhere to go. Once we'd had a look, it was like, you let us know, we'll let you know if you've got it, like, the next day. So we went home and I was like, well, we might as well go for it. We can always turn it down if we don't feel like we're ready or we change our mind. So we went for it, and then the next morning we got accepted for it. But that was actually kind of the easy part. So where we were getting a mortgage, it was a lot of paperwork. Where we're self-employed, we needed about 3 years of proof of income. So we had to get all of that to actually prove that we could afford to move out. They had to do loads of other checks. So yeah, they had to check our proof of our income. We had to obviously just send them our usual stuff, like all the IDs and stuff. And I feel like it did take a little bit longer than if you weren't self-employed, just because they had to do a lot more background checks on us to make sure that we were actually working and we did have a stable income and that we could afford the place that we were trying to buy. But to be fair, I actually thought it was a lot easier than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting to get turned down quite a few places because places didn't want self-employed people. So we're actually, shared ownership was the best way for us to go because we were self-employed, and getting a full mortgage might have been a little bit too long for us and maybe a bit more difficult. So we went with shared ownership, meaning that we own a certain amount through mortgage and we pay some rent too. The way it worked with us and where we live now, they basically looked at our income and how often we work and how it all works basically when we're working from home, and then they tell us how much we can have as our mortgage. So we pay mostly mortgage and a tiny bit rent, and then we can ladder up to 100% mortgage in the future and own the place, which would be absolutely lovely to do. I don't know what our plans are in the future, but it'd be great to 100% own this and then rent this out as we move on to another place, but we don't know yet. But if you are self-employed and you're looking to move out and you don't really want to go through the renting side, shared ownership has been a great thing for us to do. I'm not an expert in it, so I'm not gonna sit here and do a whole video on like shared ownership, because to be honest, Dan was the brains of the whole thing. I was kind of picking up bits here and there and being like, right, okay, why did they need that? How does that work? But Dan seemed to know a lot about it. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you how it all works, but there are so many videos on YouTube if you want to have a look into shared ownership and stuff like that, because it really helped with us and it's meant that we can get onto the property ladder and we now have a mortgage, and yeah, it's great. It's worked out really well. So we'll go to a more light-hearted one because I feel like that was quite heavy hitting. What is your favourite product that you sell? When I tell you I was sat here thinking about it for ages before I started recording, that is such a good question, and it changes all the time. So one product that is always going to be my favourite is my Brie Happy pin, just because that is the first one that I started with. So I feel like I always have to say the Brie Happy pin. I've got to stick to my roots. But I have to say, I think at the minute, my sun catchers are probably my favourite, just because they're the newest, and I don't know, it's something different in my shop that I've never done before, and I'm just really liking them at the minute. They're bringing in rainbows into my room. You can put them on your car, and I still need to put them into my car, but yeah, you can put them in your car, and I think that's my favourite at the moment. Or my Too Many Tabs keyring, or the pin. I think that's my favourite like pin design so far, and that seems to be doing the best actually. That seems to be my most popular at the moment. So the next question is tips for someone wanting to start a business. I mean, obviously I am no business guru at all. I just know how mine runs and I like to run mine how I can, and yeah, but I guess one thing I would always say to people is just start. And I know that sounds really cliche and maybe unhelpful. Whenever I've spoken to people that want to start a business, they know what they want to do, they just don't know how to do it. And I feel like that is what stops so many people from actually just giving it a go. And I've actually spoken about this on my podcast on my Patreon last month about starting businesses and stuff. So if you do want to listen to that, you can sign up to even like the lowest tier and just give it a listen. Me and Dan sat on a Patreon podcast and we just spoke business for like half an hour. So you obviously have the idea of what you want to do, whether that's a baking business or a product-based business or a service business, whatever you're wanting to do, and just get yourself out there and you learn the rest as you go. As long as you keep working hard on it, you will get somewhere. But you really have to start, and then from then on you start to learn what's not going quite well or what you want to do more of. But yeah, I could talk about it for ages and go on to more tips, but I think if I could only give one, it would be to just do it. Someone else asked as well, what are your business goals? That is a very good question. I have many a goal on this journey. A lot of it I do make up as I go along, but I guess I've always wanted to have, my goal originally was to have my own office, and I kind of have that now. I know I share it with Dan, but my goal when I first started was to be able to have moved out and have my own office space that I can work in, because I was originally working in my bedroom and I literally had drawers on the floor and I was just packing on the floor and working from my bed. So I really wanted a room that I could actually sit in that wasn't my bedroom. So now we have that. I guess my next business goal that I would really like to achieve, like the big one, is having a external place to go to. So obviously I work from home now. I would love to have some kind of warehouse or office that I can rent out and work away from home, that I could hire people in, and that is a big goal into the future. Obviously I'd love it now, but I feel like realistically I need to obviously work my way up to that. But being able to hire someone and have like the keys to a workplace would be so amazing. So I think that is probably my next business goal. Obviously, with more products, I'd like to be in retail shops and do a lot of wholesale. I'm working on doing that at the moment. Yeah, I'd say that was my main goal. Going on from that, someone actually asked, do you like working in the same room as your boyfriend? Which I thought was a really good question. Yes, I do. I do like having him there. Me and Dan, obviously, we've been together for like 8 years, so we are very close, and we don't actually argue that like too often. Obviously, we do bicker and we have our moments, but we do have, all in all, we do get on quite well. And people say to me like, how do you work with him as well as like be at home and have dinner with him in the evening? But in the day we don't really talk to each other, so he has his headphones on, I have my headphones on, and we just crack on with work. We have lunch and we go for a walk, and then we're back to work again. So we almost forget that we're both there. I can't lie, I would love to, in my next home, have my own office, and I know that he would like to have his too, so that he can do whatever he wants with it. I can do whatever I want with mine. So obviously I just have this rack here and the racks going across this wall. But I know that if this was my office myself, I'd have my desk over there and I'd have like 2 of these, and I would in general just have more room, and so would he. But for now, yeah, I don't mind working with him. I don't know if he could say the same for me. I think we're fine. When did you start and how did you grow? So I started my shop in... So I started in 2018. So I worked in a retail job that I had like a pinny apron thing, and I collected like pins. I was told that I could have a few pins on the apron, and some of those were ones that you like earned through work, and some of them I could just pop on myself. And then the next job that I had a lanyard, and I could put whatever pins I wanted on that. So I started buying a few that I could pop onto my lanyard, and I really wanted a cheese one because I loved cheese at the time, still do, it's a great snack. And at the time they only really had like 1 or 2, and I decided what, like I was going to draw what I would have as a cheese pin if I was to make one. So I was just doodling it, and Dan said to me, you know, you could actually do that, you could get them pins made. But I didn't want to make like 100 of them and not have anyone actually buy them. So what I did was created a mock-up. So it looked like the enamel pin, popped it onto Etsy and said it was a pre-order that would take around a month to actually get to you, but so just looking for interest basically, would anyone be interested in buying them? Didn't get anything, and then whilst I was on this holiday I actually got a sale. I remember panicking and being like, oh my god, now I actually have to get them made, and by the time I'd got home I'd had about 4 or 5 orders come in, and I had to message all those people and be like, just so you know, it is a pre-order as it says on there, are you okay with that? It's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to actually get to you because I had to get them made. And luckily I had everyone was really nice and was like, yep, that's fine, I'm in no rush for it. I just thought it was really sweet. So I got my first pins made basically, and then once they got to me I popped them on Etsy, and so like I would literally get like, I wasn't doing anything with it and I got like 1 order a week. It was like that at first. So any order that I got, I took the money, popped it into a savings account, and I didn't spend any of it because I thought I can make more of these. If I sell out of these 100, I need to have some more money that I can reinvest into it. So whilst I was selling those, I actually used that money to design another one, and I made like a feeling blue cheese one, and my niche was originally going to be cheese related things, and then I kind of went off with that idea. And it started like that, so I would literally just reinvest any money that I got into more pin ideas, and at first it was very messy. I literally had 2 cheese pins, my white feather pin, and something else. So it was all a mismatch of stuff, and I didn't really know where I was going with it, and I was still working in retail, and I didn't really push it. Like, it was just, I just let it do its thing. If I got a sale in, I'd be like, oh cool, pop it in its envelope, send it off, and I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't make an Instagram, I didn't push it in any way. I just kind of had it on there, sat, not doing anything with it. And I didn't ever really think that I could have it as my full-time job. I would obviously have loved that, but I just kind of thought like, oh, okay, like bits are coming in here and there, cool, it's just a bit on the side. And so I started to think, well, maybe I'm going to give this Quins Pins an actual good go. So I'd started an Instagram just before that, so I really started to post on Instagram more. I got onto TikTok. I really started to, at this point I had more products as well. I had some stickers. I don't think any of them are still going in my shop now, but I'd had enough. I must have had about 10 products at this point, and I just started posting it on TikTok, getting on Instagram and actually planning my Instagram, posting on stories, showing my face. I had my own website and I'd redone my website a couple times. It helps that I had Dan there as well to like help me with all the website stuff, and I really started working on what people were searching, working on SEO. I got a newsletter out. Yeah, I guess I just started to think, well, if you want to do it, I'm gonna have to do it. So sorry that was a really long-winded story, but that is how I got to where I am now. So if you do have a shop and you've only got like 1 or 2 products, I really would not panic about that. I would just put all your effort into those 2 products and reinvest everything that you can, and there is absolutely no shame of having a job on the side or having that as your main job and doing this part-time or just whenever you can. If that's what you need to do to get to where you need to be, you do that. If you need to stay at your full-time job to fund your mortgage or your family, or just put money in your savings and you can focus on doing your other bits in the evenings or on the weekends, if that's what you need to do and that's what you feel like you need to do to get to where you want to be, you do whatever you need to do that. Okay, I'll move on. If you could pay someone to do part of your job, what would it be? I had a little think about this one, and actually it didn't take me that long. I despise having to work on my SEO and having to work on my tags on Etsy, and anything like that is so mind numbing. So on my website and on Etsy, anywhere really online, you have to have keywords, know what people are searching in order for your products to come up on Google or on Etsy, and I would love to get an expert involved in doing that if I could, because I do not have the brain capacity to do it, but that is the job I would definitely give up. I think that's all the questions I'm going to do for now. If you want me to do a part 2 of these, please do let me know, because I actually really enjoy doing it. It's been quite nice to just sit and chat and do a little Q&A instead of just doing a studio vlog. As I said, I haven't got much going on this week and it would be very boring of me to just film me sitting at a laptop typing. So it was quite nice to do a Q&A. I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you a little bit and helped you get to know me a bit more. Instagram has been utter shite at the moment, and I just really want to like connect with people, so I feel like maybe doing this Q&A, like having a little chatty video, would be quite a nice way to do it. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. I think we're at like nearly at 230 subscribers, which is so amazing. I'm loving doing YouTube at the minute. I'm finding it really fun, and it just makes me so happy that people want to watch and are subscribing. So I'm going to leave now, but have a lovely rest of your day, whatever day you are watching this on, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!